Today, we're going to be exploring SUI, the latest Layer 1 blockchain that has an innovative smart contract platform that was launched in May 2023. We will be exploring key features and technologies that make SUI stand out from the crowd. And also stay tuned to the end because we're going to have a bonus section where I go over some of my price predictions of what I think SUI could do in the next year. On Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023, the Layer 1 blockchain SUI was officially launched. SUI is a smart contract platform designed for scalability and low latency in simple use cases, being developed by the team over at Miston Labs. SUI leverages parallel processing to maximize resource utilization and increase throughput. Written in Rust similar to Solana, SUI supports smart contracts that are able to be written in SUI Move, an asset-centric adaptation of the Move programming language. SUI Move is able to ensure security and prevent common vulnerabilities, making it much more accessible to mainstream developers. SUI's native token, which is also called SUI, SUI, is used for gas payments and staking in a delegated proof-of-stake model. SUI enables instant settlements and accommodates growth of Web3 applications. Let me know down in the comments below, is there another blockchain you'd like me to cover? I really love doing this stuff, especially covering SUI, because now I know way more about the blockchain, and I hope this research I do also helps you understand these things also. So leave a comment down below of what you want me to cover next. SUI Move, which is based off the Rust programming language, provides a secure and verifiable environment for writing smart contracts. SUI Move addresses the representation and safe operations of digital assets, ensuring asset integrity. SUI Move's data model allows for passing, returning, and storing assets within assets, facilitating composability and enabling the creation of new asset structures. Unlike the EVM data model, which lacks these capabilities, SUI Move empowers developers to define rich and composable on-chain assets, unlocking new application possibilities. This new Layer 1 blockchain SUI guarantees high security for its blockchain, allowing only asset owners to validate transactions on their assets. Ownership is verified through digital signatures, ensuring privacy and control on your assets. SUI operates through a protocol of independent validators, ensuring fault tolerance and correct processing of transactions. Validators who can then validate these transactions and help the security of the blockchain can only be determined through proof of stake that they own these assets and have locked them up. Allowing user participation and rotation, anyone can join this validation process. Also, SUI can be audited, with validators who are participating on this blockchain providing a current record of the history of transactions and state of assets. While all transactions and assets are visible to the public on a public ledger, users can still maintain privacy by either using several different wallets or privacy enhancing smart contracts that'll protect their identity. Another Layer 1 blockchain that provides similar technology and acts in the same kind of smart contracts to SUI is Solana. Solana also operates through a protocol of independent validators, which each validator is determined through a delegated proof of stake. Miston Labs, who is creating the SUI Layer 1 blockchain, is really trying to compete against the other Layer 1 blockchain Solana and several others. Will they be able to hang with these other blockchains that have been around for years and years and have many dApps and applications already built on top of their blockchain? Later on in this video, we'll hit the price predictions and SUI versus Solana on other different parts of this conversation. Make sure you're signed up on my newsletter down below in the description. We will shoot you over monthly newsletters that will compile things that have happened in the last month. So in May, in this newsletter, we'll be covering SUI and maybe some other things that happened. The month isn't over yet. This hopefully helps make your life a little easier so you get a nice little recap of what happened in blockchain technology in the past month. So the link's down below in the description. If you want to sign up, go ahead. Now let's get into how SUI works. SUI, which is only about 2 weeks old at the time of this recording, is already hitting some impressive numbers. Let me share them with you. SUI at the time of this recording only has about 100 globally active validators. And with these validators, they're already hitting TPSs, which is transactions per second, of 290,000 plus transactions per second. That is extremely impressive. Let me show you some numbers of some other layer 1 blockchains and their TPS. Here's some of those competitors. Ethereum is only hitting about 15 transactions per second. Bitcoin is only hitting around 8 transactions per second. And Solana, which I think is only the next closest one to SUI, is hitting around 3,500 transactions per second. Now you can see why SUI's transaction per second is very impressive compared to other layer 1 blockchains. Now let's kind of get into how SUI is able to achieve this insane TPS that other layer 1s cannot. SUI achieves parallel agreement on causally independent transactions. This eliminates the need for global consensus with the validations per transaction. Transactions involving exclusively owned objects are processed in parallel, bypassing the global consensus. For a shared object that is trying to maybe get sent or done something with on the blockchain, SUI will then employ the bull shark consensus protocol, ensuring eventual consistency. SUI's transaction submission involves quorum drivers and validators at the same time, enabling parallel execution without the intervalidator communication. Narwhal and Bullshark, which were created by Miston Labs, are the mempools and consensus engines powering the entire SUI blockchain. What does all that mean that I just said? I kind of used some big words and maybe some weird technology terms. Let me simple it down a little bit. Essentially what it means is low network fees and high transaction per second. SUI's gas price mechanism is able to support horizontal scaling during moments of increased activity on the network. This allows for SUI to execute all transactions coming in at the same time that are non-conflicting transactions, ensuring a low predictable gas fee for users who are trying to make a transaction happen. The rapid scaling to minimize gas fees on SUI is able to accommodate when network demand is high, from users who submit high data loads without punishing the smaller users who have smaller data loads with high gas fees, similar to like Ethereum, who if you go on Ethereum and you try to use Ethereum and make a transaction happen, gas fees can spike when high data loads might be on the network. Understanding terms in blockchain tech can be really difficult, and if you're not familiar with the grammar within Web3 technology, you can get lost or even worse, potentially lose an investment you've put in. You can visit my website either right up here, that's my website up there, or down below there's a link where you can set up a one-on-one meeting with me or a group meeting where I can maybe help you understand things better, set up wallets, set up accounts that you might need to do, and help you navigate blockchain tech and understand some grammar that you might not understand so you don't lose investments or get lost and scared of moving forward in this blockchain tech. My whole goal here at Soulmaniac Services is help people understand what blockchain technology is and help them onboard into this new world of Web3. You don't have to do it alone. Now let's get into SUI Tokenomics. Tokenomics are arguably one of the most important parts of any blockchain layer 1, and you need to know and understand tokenomics of each blockchain you're going into. That's why I'm covering this section. SUI's tokenomics creates an economic ecosystem that complements its engineering design. Users, SUI token holders, and validators are the core components of the SUI economy. When you go to make a transaction, gas fees will be paid in SUI, the token. The gas fee plays an important role by covering the cost of transactions on the network and also rewarding those who are part of the proof of stake mechanism on this layer 1 blockchain. SUI also has what's called a storage fund where they take portions of the gas fees and store them in a large fund. This storage fund SUI has created compensates validators for the cost of data storage on their blockchain. Now, what can you do as a SUI token holder? This is important to know what your power is in this blockchain if you're holding a token. As a SUI token holder, you can stake your token to earn rewards, gain governance rights, and also participate in on-chain voting for protocol upgrades. Another blockchain that does this very similarly, which I've already mentioned before, is Solana. They do something very similar. This is why you might hear sometimes people mention SUI as a Solana killer, because they're going parallel with this kind of technology, but trying to be more innovative. It's exciting to see what the competition will bring in innovation in Web3 on these two blockchains. Competition like this always drives innovation, and innovation benefits users and participators the most. The SUI token serves multiple purposes on the SUI platform. It can be staked, it can be used for gas fees, act as a versatile asset, and participate in on-chain voting. SUI incorporates a storage fund that addresses the intertemporal challenge of financing data storage. Users will pay an upfront storage fee, which is then redistributed to validators across the network, ensuring a sustainable storage model. Now that we have explored various aspects of SUI, let's get into why this latest innovation is so great within blockchain technology. SUI introduces several groundbreaking innovations that set it apart from other blockchains. One of the key innovations is SUI's use of casual ordering instead of total ordering when it comes to transactions. Unlike traditional blockchains, which only use total ordering processing on transactions, SUI leverages casual ordering, allowing for massively parallel execution across the blockchain network. This reduces latency and enables the validators to use all their CPU cores, resulting in unprecedented speed and scalability. Hence, the reason why we see a TPS of 290,000 plus transactions per second with minimal gas fees. By the way, you should go follow my Twitter because that's where I post daily on things I find right when I find them. So if you want to be in the know faster, go follow my Twitter and follow the tweets that I post. SUI's object-centric data model is another massive innovation in blockchain. It uses SUI Move, which is based off the Rust programming language, which allows for developers to easily understand this programming language. This data model allows for the creation of composable objects and non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. You've heard those before. This simplifies development and enhances the flexibility of the network. The easier it is to create decentralized application or dApps on a blockchain, the easier it is to foster an ecosystem of faster innovation on the network. SUI also takes a unique approach to transaction validation. Instead of batching transaction into blocks similar to like Bitcoin, SUI validates transactions individually, providing low latency and ensuring that each transaction will quickly get a certificate of finality. This approach not only enhances the security of the blockchain, but also makes transaction processing way more efficient. SUI boasts that their DNA is filled with security in your digital assets, smart contracts, transactions, and the entire network itself. This is an extremely high priority for this team at Miston Labs. There are two main reasons why SUI can be so proud and boast their security on their network. The first is due to Miston Labs' team that is dedicated to building the SUI Layer 1 blockchain, and Move, their open source programming language for building smart contracts. Another remarkable innovation in SUI is its collaborative transaction submission process. When a sender submits a transaction on the network, it broadcasts it to validators. The validators will then send back individual votes on that transaction back to the sender. The sender will then collect the majority of those votes and put it into a certificate, which then that certificate is then brought back to all the validators. This is a collaborative approach from sender to validators, enhances security, and ensures transaction finality. SUI's consensus engine, which is composed of two important programs, Narwhal and Bullshark. These two programs are a testament to the SUI blockchain's cutting-edge technology. Narwhal ensures data availability for consensus, while Bullshark will determine the specific ordering of data on the blockchain. These two consensus engines are pivotal in why SUI is able to have an insane amount of transactions per second and low gas fees for those with high data loads and us small users with small data loads. With how early SUI is on their development and programming so far, with only being about 2 weeks old, I only see them greatly expanding their network and enhancing their security even further. I'm really excited to see how SUI performs in the long run. The SUI token plays a central role in the SUI economy, serving as a means of staking, paying gas fees, and enabling various applications within the SUI ecosystem. The more use cases SUI has, and the greater the reasons are to lock up that SUI asset you're holding, the more valuable that cryptocurrency becomes. That's for any cryptocurrency out there. At the time of this recording, the current TVL Total value locked on SUI is about $35.6 million, as seen here from the DeFi Llama. With SUI's successful mainnet launch and its growing community of users and developers, SUI is set on transforming the blockchain landscape. SUI's high performance, security guarantees, and the ease of developing on this network make it an extremely attractive option for many use cases on this network, including things like decentralized finance or DeFi, gaming, asset tokenization, and decentralized social media networks. As SUI continues to unlock new use cases, attract more users to their layer 1 blockchain, its state-of-the-art consensus protocol and performance advantages will shape the future of blockchain technology. Before we get into the next year's SUI price prediction, I want to share with you something I've been creating. The Good Morning Crew merchandise for you loyal blockchain enthusiasts. We have hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, bottle openers, and so much more. Go visit my website and check out the new Maniac merch and use the discount code down below, also to save money on one of the items in your cart. Now let's get to the fun stuff, the price prediction of SUI. SUI is currently competing some of the world's greatest layer 1 blockchains like Ethereum, Solana, Aptos, and others. The blockchain I see SUI attempting to come after the most is Solana. Solana, in my opinion, for the time being, is the only layer 1 blockchain that is superior to SUI. With SUI coming out with an insane transaction per second and low gas fees, Solana might have a run for its money and might have to come up with some new innovative ways to get their TPS up and compete against SUI. Let's get into some of the facts here. Solana's current market cap is sitting at $3.35 billion, with the current TVL or total value locked sitting at $269 million. Solana, because it's already been around for about 3 years, has an extensive ecosystem of decentralized finance, NFT marketplaces, and a lot of other dApps that are already been built on top of Solana. Solana, with its current market cap and protocols already put in place on their layer 1 protocol, is sitting at a valuation of about $21 a coin at the time of this recording. Solana, which is about 3 years old, compared to SUI, which is only about 2 weeks old at the time of this recording, has a lot of growth ahead of itself. If SUI can keep up this insane TPS that they have, continue to strengthen their security, and make it extremely easier for developers to build on this layer 1 blockchain, I could see SUI having a much greater value than Solana does in the long run. SUI's current market cap is sitting at $640 million, with the current TVL total value locked sitting at about $35 million. With these current stats, SUI is currently valued at per coin at $1.21 at the time of this recording. I think you can do the math here yourself on the potential return on investment here if you decided to pick up some SUI token. A very important thing to take note of when it comes to SUI though is the release date of some of the tokens that will then be released and be able to be liquidated on the market, which could cause a token dump. November 2023, as you can see in this image, is a scary time for the token SUI. We have a massive dump of tokens circulating and released into the market. This could cause extensive sell pressure on the token SUI. Like always, I'm not a financial advisor and you should do your own research when it comes to these kind of things. Here at Maniac Services, our goal is just to provide you with the information so you can then take that and go do more research and be an educated investor when it comes time and you feel comfortable. But I'm not someone you should be taking financial advice from. SUI is potentially the next biggest opportunity you have right in front of yourself. I personally, for the moment, do not hold a single SUI token, but I am very bullish on the innovations and latest technologies this layer 1 blockchain is offering. They still have a long road ahead of them and a lot to prove, and this is definitely a blockchain and a token you should be paying close attention to throughout their journey. If you're enjoying this video, give it a like and subscribe to this channel so when we find more amazing investment opportunities, you can stay informed.